Today, I will be explaining the movie The Matrix Reloaded, which is the second installment in the Matrix film series. The events of this film take place 6 months after the conclusion of the first movie. Known for its intense action sequences, gripping drama, and mind-bending sci-fi twists. In the first film, Neo comes to believe that Morpheus, an enigmatic figure regarded as one of the most dangerous men alive, holds the answer to his question, what is the Matrix? With the help of Trinity, a mysterious woman who guides him into an underground world, Neo eventually meets Morpheus and begins to uncover the truth. In the second film, the story opens with Trinity, who this time appears in a surprising new role, setting the stage for the thrilling continuation of Neo's journey. She's running through a building while other agents chase after her. To escape, she smashes through a glass window and leaps out. But as she falls, an agent opens fire, and although Trinity shoots back, she's hit by a bullet. At that exact moment, Neo, the lead character, suddenly wakes up. It was only a dream, one where he saw Trinity being killed by an agent. In reality, Trinity is right beside him. She notices his concern and asks what's bothering him. Neo explains the dream, telling her he saw her die. The scene then shifts to the virtual world, where many awakened humans are holding a secret meeting. Their minds are inside the Matrix while their real bodies remain outside, hidden from the machines. The discussion centers on how to free more people from the Matrix and give them real lives. During this, they reveal the machines have a massive plan to attack Zion, the last human city, hidden underground. Agents suddenly appear, and we're reminded of who they are. Inside the Matrix, humans are bound by natural rules: gravity, motion, reaction. Agents, however, can bend and break these rules, making them far more powerful. But Neo, unlike others, can match their powers. A battle breaks out, and using his abilities, Neo flies away into the sky, escaping the agents. The story then shifts back to the real world, where Neo and the others disconnect from the Matrix. They set course for Zion. Upon arriving, the people of the city rejoice, seeing Neo as a kind of savior. Neo meets with Zion's commander, who informs him that a gathering has been arranged that night. Morpheus insists that during this gathering, the people must be told the truth that an army of machines is preparing to attack Zion. The commander resists, saying many of Zion's residents are women and children. Telling them about war would only create fear. But Morpheus argues that hiding the truth could doom them all. Later, at the gathering, Morpheus addresses the entire city. He warns that the machines are indeed coming, but urges everyone not to fear because united, they can resist. The people cheer passionately, raising slogans of support. While Zion celebrates, Trinity and Neo grow closer, their bond deepening both emotionally and physically. The next day, Morpheus and his crew enter the Matrix again. As usual, they head for a phone booth to exit safely. But an agent arrives first, Agent Smith, who was supposedly destroyed in the first film. Strangely, he's back, and now more dangerous than before. We soon learn he has a new ability: he can turn others into copies of himself, replicating endlessly. Meanwhile, back in Zion, Neo and his crew prepare to leave again in their ship. Their mission is to intercept the approaching machines before they can reach the city. After they depart, the commander expresses regret, telling the council that letting them go was a mistake. Zion might soon be attacked, and their ship could have been useful in defense. But the council reassures him, saying the team will return. Neo, however, realizes the machines are far too many to defeat by force. Instead, he believes the only way to stop them is by confronting their true source. That's why he instructs his crew to head out, while he re-enters the Matrix alone. Inside, Neo visits the Oracle, the program who has guided him in the past. Suspicious, Neo questions her, "You're also just a program, created by the machines. How can I trust that you're really helping us? Other programs have turned hostile, why not you?" The Oracle calmly replies, "I do only what I was created to do. Whether you believe me or not is your choice." Before leaving, she tells him one last important truth: when his journey reaches its end, he will meet the creator of the Matrix itself, the one who designed the entire illusion. After their talk, the Oracle begins to leave, but Neo stops her. He explains that he's been having a dream where Trinity gets shot, falls to the ground, and dies. The Oracle asks if he sees how it ends, and Neo replies, "Every time I'm with her I wake up before the end." The Oracle tells him this means he now has the ability to see glimpses of the future. And with that power comes responsibility. He must make the right choices, because if he fails, Zion will be destroyed. If he truly wants to save everyone, he must reach the source, the central computer of the Matrix, and meet its creator. Only there will his journey end, and only then will there be a chance to stop the war between humans and machines. But to get to the source, the Oracle explains, he'll need the help of a Keymaker, a program that can open the way. Without him, Neo can't reach the creator. After this warning, the Oracle leaves. Just then, Agent Smith appears. Neo is stunned. He thought Smith was destroyed in their last battle. Smith explains that when Neo tried to kill him by entering his body, a piece of Neo's code remained inside. That fragment of power changed him, allowing him to rewrite himself. Now, he says, he's no longer an agent. He's a free program, something beyond the control of both humans and machines. Neo doesn't fully understand what Smith means, but when he tries to walk away, hundreds of copies of Smith suddenly appear. This leads to one of the most intense battles of the film. Neo fights against wave after wave of Smith clones, knocking them down one by one. But the numbers never stop growing. 100 Smiths become 200, and then 400, surrounding him on all sides. For every Smith Neo defeats, more take his place. Even with his immense power, Neo realizes this fight has no end. When Smith tries to absorb him the same way he absorbs others, Neo resists, breaks free, and then rockets into the sky, flying out of the Matrix and back into the real world. When Neo reconnects, his crew is surprised at how shaken he looks. He explains that Smith is back, and worse, he can now duplicate himself infinitely. What was once a threat from a single agent is now multiplied into hundreds. Neo admits he's never seen anything like it before. The team then discusses their next step. Neo tells Morpheus about the Oracle's message. They need the Keymaker. But the Keymaker is being held captive by a man named Merovingian, an old and powerful program. So they travel to his place inside the Matrix. Neo asks the Merovingian to release the Keymaker, but he refuses and tells them to leave. Not wanting to fight innocent programs, Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity begin to turn back. At that moment, the Merovingian's wife, Persephone, approaches Neo. She says she feels as if she's met him before, and that she can help him, but only if he pays a price. When Neo asks what she wants, Persephone demands a kiss, and not just any kiss, one that shows the same passion he shares with Trinity. Trinity is furious, hurt by this demand, but Neo has no choice. If he wants the Keymaker, he must do it. Reluctantly, Neo kisses Persephone in front of Trinity. Satisfied, Persephone keeps her word and leads them to the Keymaker. But just as they find him, the Merovingian and his guards appear. Neo tells Trinity and Morpheus to take the Keymaker and run, while he holds them off. A fierce battle erupts, this time with fighters unlike any Neo has faced before: ghostly twins, vampire-like programs, and others with powers rivaling the agents. Though Neo is strong, the sheer number and strength of his enemies overwhelm him, and he's eventually beaten down by the Merovingian's forces. The group escapes through a special door that instantly teleports them about 500 kilometers away from the city. Now they need to find a way back. The scene shifts to Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, and the Keymaker, all running from the Merovingian's men. On one side, the Merovingian's guards are chasing them, and on the other, agents also begin pursuing them inside the city. Two dangers at once. Here we get an epic car chase sequence. At times, the agents and the Merovingian's men even clash with each other, but eventually, the agents catch up to Morpheus and the others. The fight spills onto speeding vehicles, with the ghostly twins joining in. Since the ghosts can't be harmed, they become a terrifying threat. At one point, they ram a truck straight into Morpheus's vehicle. But just before the deadly explosion, Neo arrives in time, pulling Morpheus and the Keymaker to safety. Meanwhile, in Zion, the commander is rallying his forces. He warns that in about 9 hours, the machines will arrive and launch their attack, so everyone must prepare for the final battle. Back in the Matrix, the Keymaker explains the path to the source. He tells Neo that the door to the Creator will only stay open for 5 seconds. Neo must reach it at incredible speed while the Keymaker prepares the special key. Neo reassures him, "Leave that part to me. You just make the key." But the mission becomes even harder because Agent Smith himself shows up, ready to block Neo. Fun fact, Hugo Weaving, who plays Smith here, also played Red Skull in Captain America, the First Avenger. Despite facing impossible odds, Neo pushes through the swarm of agents, racing toward the source. In the process, the Keymaker sacrifices his life. But before dying, he manages to insert the key into the final lock, opening the door just in time. Neo dashes through, entering the Creator's chamber. Here, Neo finally meets the architect, the creator of the Matrix itself. This is the man who designed everything: the buildings, the rules, human life, families, schools, and even the illusion of ordinary existence. But the architect serves the machines, because their survival depends on human minds generating energy for them. The architect asks Neo why he came, already knowing the answer. He reveals that Neo is not unique, he's simply the result of an error, an anomaly that appears every time the Matrix is built. Neo represents the system's greatest flaw, a being who can bend or break the rules. The architect calls him our most beloved mistake. Neo is stunned to learn he isn't the first. In fact, this has all happened before. The Matrix has been created and destroyed 5 times already. Neo is the 6th anomaly to reach the source. Each of the previous 5 ones also made it here and faced the same choice. The architect explains that every version of the Matrix eventually reaches this breaking point. The system functions for a while, but when anomalies like Neo appear, the illusion unravels. It always ends with the same outcome: the world collapsing, and the cycle beginning again. The architect then explains that after this cycle ends, a new version of the Matrix will be created. But before that can happen, Neo must make a choice. He is given 2 options. The first is to save Trinity, the woman he loves. The second is to select 23 people, 16 women and 7 men, with whom he can rebuild humanity and start the world anew. This choice has been made 5 times before, always the same way. But this time, Neo breaks the pattern. He refuses the architect's plan and chooses Trinity above all else, declaring that nothing else matters to him. Meanwhile, inside the Matrix, a massive explosion begins to tear everything apart. Neo races away at full speed. At the same time, Trinity has entered the Matrix to try and save Neo. This leads us directly into the flashback scene from the beginning of the film. Trinity leaps from a tall building, but an agent shoots her mid-air. She crashes to the ground, fatally wounded. Just then, Neo arrives. He first defeats the agent, who smashes into a car and dies. But when Neo turns to Trinity, he sees that her heart has already stopped. Still, Neo refuses to lose her. Using his powers, he literally reaches inside her body and restarts her heart, bringing her back to life. Together, they return safely to the real world. Back aboard the ship, Neo tells Morpheus the grim truth: in less than 24 hours, the machines will attack Zion. They need to prepare for war. But before they can act, a sentinel strike damages their ship with an electromagnetic blast. Forced to abandon the vessel, the crew tries to escape. Dozens of machines close in on them. Instead of running, Neo decides to face them head-on. Summoning his immense powers into the real world for the first time, he raises his hand and stops the swarm of sentinels in midair. The effort is overwhelming, blood pours from his body, and he collapses unconscious. Though his actions save his friends, Neo himself falls into a coma. The movie then cuts to another shocking twist. We see the man whose body Agent Smith had taken over earlier. He is still alive, carrying Smith's consciousness inside him. And with that cliffhanger, The Matrix Reloaded ends here. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for more Movie Explains.